Episode of the Riff Rundown with my friends at Fishman. Today's episode is pre-recorded, but don't worry, we're still gonna have a ton of fun today. So this one is definitely geared towards my beginners. I was watching the country music documentary by Ken Burns and was incredibly inspired to teach this one today. So we are going to be learning Mama Tried by Merle Haggard. Such a great song. Such a fun one for our beginners, okay? We got a really cool intro part, and then we have some great chords in that verse and that chorus. So go ahead and get your acoustic guitar. I want you to put it in standard tuning for today. And you guys know I like to ask a question at the beginning of every lesson. So let me know where you're tuning in from. And question of the day, favorite songwriter, favorite singer-songwriter, favorite songwriter. I want to know, so put it in the comments. Be sure to say hello to your fellow guitar players in the chat. It's a beautiful community we have here, so be sure to say hello. And let's go ahead and do this. So this is Mama Tried by Merle Haggard. Here we go. That's the tune we're going to be learning today. Really fun, definitely geared towards my beginners. So my intermediates and my advanced folks who are watching today, let's put a couple words of encouragement for those beginners who are watching today. I'd really, really appreciate it. Again, we've got such a nice community here, and I love how kind everyone is to each other in the comments. Really cool. I see it and I appreciate it. So let's go ahead, let's continue the good vibes, and let's look at this intro. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to play the intro a little bit slower than I did a moment ago. And I want you to see that there's some nice finger stretching involved here, but don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. Super, super fun part. So here it is just a little bit slower. Really great little part, okay? So what we're going to do here is I want you to get your first finger. We're going to place that on the 7th fret of the G string. It's going to be our D note, okay? And then what I want you to do here, okay, we're not going to use it right away, but we will use it soon. Place that 2nd finger on the 8th fret of the B string, so that's our G note, okay? And from there, what I want you to do here is I also want you to place your pinky finger on the 10th fret of that B string. So this is an A note. Now what we're going to do here is we're also going to play the open D string. So it should sound like this. I'm going to do that again. Now when I play this line, what I like to do is I like to hybrid pick this, okay? Which means I am holding my pick with my thumb and my first finger, okay, my index finger. And then for the B string, I am striking upwards with that middle finger. Okay, so I'm using both a plectrum or a pick as well as my fingers, okay? So I like to do this for many reasons. One is that I just really like how hybrid picking sounds, so I like to do that. And also, a lot of times when I'm playing this live, I'm the only guitar player, so I have to go right into that rhythm part, and I'm going to want to pick to really cut through with the band and really lock in with like the drummer and the rhythm section, right? So having that pick there to play is something that I like. So again, you can finger pick this, or you can choose to hybrid pick this, completely up to you. It's still going to sound great. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play the open D string. We're going to play that with the pick. We're going to play that 7th fret of the G string, also with the pick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to strike upward with my middle finger on that B string, 10th fret. So it will sound like this. I'm going to do this slowly. This is hybrid picked. let that D string ring. Let's do that again. Now notice how you cannot see my thumb here. This is done for good reason, okay? That thumb is at the middle of the neck. By placing the thumb in the middle of the neck, it's going to really extend the stretch of those fingers, and that's exactly what we want today. All right, we want a nice good stretch here. So let's go ahead and do that again. So we're going to do this phrase twice. Now what we're going to do here, see how this second finger, we haven't used it yet, but we will now. Release the pinky finger. We want this. Okay, it's a pretty cool little chord there. So what we're going to do here, open D string, 7th fret of the G string, 8th fret of that B string. And we're only going to play this phrase one time. Okay, so here's how it sounds. And again, hybrid pick the same way. D string with the pick, G string with the pick, middle finger striking upward on the B string. Just like that, okay? So let's go ahead and include part 1 of the riff and then into part 2. Here we go. We're going to go a little slowly here. Okay, follow along. Let's do that again. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Let's do it a little faster. And one more time. And one more time for good luck. Let's do it. Now, to finish the phrase, okay, we're going to release that second finger. We don't need it anymore. All the notes we need, we're going to play with this first finger. So lay this first finger across the 7th fret of the G string. Keep it there. That's our D note, okay? And we're also going to play the F sharp, okay, which is on the 7th fret of that B string. And that's what it sounds like, okay? Now when we include the open D string, it will sound like this. Beautiful phrase, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to play the open D string, 7th fret G string, 7th fret B string, and we're going to repeat that again. At the second time, go ahead and strike that G string again. So the entire phrase will sound like this slowly. Just like that. Let's do that again. One more time. All right. So let's go ahead and let's do the whole thing here. I'm going to play it nice and slowly. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. And if you want to check out all the cool fisherman gear that I use in these lessons, link is in the video description below. All right, so let's go ahead and do this intro. Okay, nice and slowly. Here we go. Again. One more time. Here it is a little faster now. Great little riff, all right? So that's probably the hardest part of the tune right there. We've gone through it. Good job. Let me know how everybody did in the comments, okay? So that's what's happening there. Now we're going to look at the verse. So the verse, friendly chords here, D, G, and A. That's it. We're in the key of D in this song, so that's going to be a 1, 4, and 5 if we're talking Nashville number system terms, okay? The 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. All major chords here. So let's go ahead and get started. So we've got the D chord here for my beginners who don't know how to play it. No problem, I'm gonna show you. Okay, first 3 fingers. First finger, second fret of the G string. It's gonna be our A note. Okay, second finger here, second fret of the E string. Okay, make sure not to touch that fret. Get as close as you can without touching it. Okay, that's our F sharp. Third finger reaching over, get as close to that fret as you can. Again, okay, that's our D note, that's our root. So we're gonna strum from the D string downward. The chord should sound like this. Beautiful D major chord. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Okay, now how we're gonna strum this, all right, is we're going to strike the root first, the root note. So that's gonna be our open D string for this chord. So the strumming pattern will be like this, and it's going to be the strumming pattern for all of the chords that we do in the song. We're going to hit the root note, and we're going to go down, up, down, up. So for this D chord, that sounds like this. Root, down, up, down, up. So let's do that again with that D chord. Here we go. Let's do this a couple times. Time. And use your pick. Strike downward on that D note, the open D string, and then strum downward on the rest of the chord. Just like that. All right. So what we're going to do there is we're only going to do that once. Then we go to a G chord. So this is a little trick that I like. Okay? And I like to play the G chord this way. Leave your third finger where it is. Use it as a pivot point. Okay? So place the pinky down on the third fret of that E string, which is a G note. First finger, second fret of the A string, which is B. Then you're going to get your second finger here. Okay? Third fret of the E string, which is G. Strum everything. Beautiful G chord. Okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to do that same strumming pattern, but again, the root has changed because the chord has changed. So hit the G note, which now is at the third fret of the E string, right? So strike that root, root down, up, up. Just like that, okay? So let's go between D and G. Again, this is a very beginner lesson here. We're gonna go nice and slowly here. Keep in mind that pivot point. It's gonna help you with your switch. Why lift that finger up when you're gonna put it right back where it was, right? Save yourself some energy, man. So here we go. Up, G, down, up, D, down, up, G, down, up. That's the strumming pattern that we're going to use for this entire song. It's really great. We see it commonly in a lot of country music. It's such a versatile, really cool melodic way to strum some chords, all right? So we're going to repeat that. We're going to go from D to G, D to G. So we're going to split the measure with those. So half the measure is D, half the measure is D, or G, and then D and G. Half measure, all right? So that's going to sound like this. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, okay? The next measure is going to only be a D chord. That's all we're playing, and that's going to sound like this. Down, up, D, down, up, up. Okay, so that's what's happening there. And guess what? We're going to play the A chord, also known as the 5 chord. Okay, we're going to play that next. So here's how I like to play it. There are many different ways to play an A chord. This is the way I prefer to play it. Okay, second, third, and fourth finger. Place your second finger here on the E note, which is second fret of the D string. You're going to get your third finger, second fret of the G string, that's an A, and then you're going to get your pinky finger here, your fourth finger, playing the C sharp, which is on the second fret of the B string. Now, that's the 1, 3, 5 of the A chord. We have A, we have C sharp, and we have E. 1, 3, and 5. They're all there. So we're going to strum, starting with the open A string. Strike the open A string, that's our root. And you guessed it, down, up, down, up. strumming pattern. So that will sound like this. Okay, really great chord. So let's go through the first half of this verse, okay? And I'll call out the chords. So here we go. D, G, D, G, D for one measure. And now A for a measure. Let's do that without the commentary. Here we go. Pretty good stuff. So now the second half, I'm going to tell you the chords. So we're going to go from D to G, D to G again. Now we're going to do this D for half a measure, A for half a measure, and D for a whole measure. So let's play that together. I'll call out the chords and then I'll do a pass without the commentary. So here we go. Here's the second half of the verse. D major, G, D, G, D, A, D. No commentary. Here we go. Just like that, okay? So let's go through the entire verse. Again, I'll do a pass where I call out the chords, and then I'll do a pass without the commentary, and then we're gonna go ahead and look at the chorus, okay? So here we go, from the top. I'm gonna play it a little faster. I think we got the chords by now. So here we go, D, G, D, G, D, A, D, G, D, G, D, A, D. Here it is without the commentary. Here we go. So that's the verse right there. That's it. Really fun. Again, beginner chords here. 1, 4, 5 in the key of D. It's great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and look at the chorus. So this is the part where he said, I turned 21 in prison, da, 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 right? So that's where we know the chorus is happening. So I'm going to play through the chorus, okay, at speed. And notice this is where we have the one bar chord of that B minor. So check it out. Here we go. Here's the chorus. That's what's happening. Let's go ahead and look. So again, we're starting with the chorus, okay? One measure of D major. And guess what? Same strumming pattern. Let's go ahead and do that together. Okay? From there, we're going to split the measure, G to D. Now to our D major. And here comes the B minor. So since we are in the key of D, this would be our 6th chord. All right, so we're going to get our first finger here, placing that across the 2nd fret of the A string all the way down to the high E. Now, we don't want any crooked fingers here, okay? Try to keep that first finger in line, okay? Perpendicular, or parallel, I'm sorry, parallel to the fret, all right? Get as close as you can to the fret without touching it, because we don't want any buzz. Hear the difference? That's why. That's why I always say, get as close to the fret as you can, okay? So press through. Again, notice how you cannot see my thumb. I'm using it as a beautiful foundation, right? Pressing through the neck. We don't want to really hurt our hands, okay? But pressing through, giving yourself a good amount of pressure, okay, to create a good foundation for the rest of the chords. So we're going to get our first finger here, right, across the second fret of the A string through the high E. We're going to get our second finger now playing the D note. That's going to be on the third fret of that B string. Our third finger reaches up, okay? This note is an F sharp, okay? We're going to play the fourth fret of the D string there with that third finger. Should sound like that, okay? And then pinky finger goes down on the fourth fret of the G string, which is another B note. So the chord should sound like this, strumming from the A string. Okay, so just like that. That's what we want here. Okay, so that's the chord. Again, keeping that first finger nice and straight. I know from this angle, it looks like I'm right on top of that fret, but if you could see from my angle, I'm right behind it. Okay, we got those fingers in line. Again, D, B, D, and F sharp, the one flat 3-5, the three notes that build the B minor chord, okay? If we're talking in terms of Nashville number system, it is the 6 chord, minor 6, in the key of D, all right? And how we are going to strum this chord, you guessed it, it's the same exact way that we did the other ones. We need to locate where B is, and lucky enough, it's right there, second fret of the A string. So we strike that note with that tip of our first finger, and you guessed it, down, up, down, up. Okay, we're going to do this B minor for a whole measure. So that sounds like this. Just like that, okay? So, takes a little bit of time to get those bar chords, but again, keep at it. My intermediates and advanced folks who are watching, words of encouragement to those beginners. Don't worry. You'll be able to play these bar chords, all right? So we're going to play that B minor for an entire measure. And then from there, we're going to play an A chord for another whole measure. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and play the first half of the chorus. I'm going to call out the chords, and then I'll do another pass without the commentary. So here we go. D major. G. D. B minor. A. Let's do that again without the commentary. Here we go. Let's do it a little faster. Here we go. Just like that, okay? So now the second half of the chorus sounds like this. Okay, so we have a whole measure of D, half a measure of G, next half is D, into the next measure, okay, another half measure of D, into our A chord, half measure, and then D for a whole measure to complete the chorus. Okay, so again, I'm going to call out those chords for the first pass and then no commentary in the second pass. This is the second half of the chorus. So here we go. D major, G, commentary. Here we go. Let's do the entire chorus. All right, I'll call out the chords, and then I'll do another pass without the commentary. Again, if you're enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Say that 10 times fast. Okay, the picture is somewhere over here. And I would really appreciate it. Absolutely helps the cause. Share these videos with a friend. If you want to check out all the cool gear that I use from Fishman, I've got a link in the video description below. You can see the R Spectrum DI that I use, the Matrix Infinity VT and enhanced pickups that I have in my beautiful Martin 00017E here. So you can check all that out there. It's all on the link below, folks. Check it out. It's good stuff. So here we go. Here's the entire chorus with the commentary. Let's get ready to go. D major. G. D. B minor. A. D, G, D, D, A, D. All right, no commentary. Here we go. Really fun tune. So we've got a few more minutes left here. That's the entire tune. So what happens? We have like just the rundown of how the song goes. We have the intro. Okay, we have verse 1, verse 2. Then we go into the chorus. Then we do that intro riff again, or a little guitar solo part. Okay, we go into verse 3, chorus, intro line, out. This song is 2 minutes and 15 seconds of just really, really awesome, great songwriting. Great songwriting. Merle is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and start at the top here. We're going to go through an intro, we will go through a verse, and we will go through a chorus, okay? And hope everybody's having fun. Let me know in the comments. Let me know how everybody's doing. So here we go. Here's the intro again. I'm going to play it a little bit faster because I think we got it now. So here we go. Verse. Into our chorus. Here we go. Okay, that second half of that chorus, whole measure D. G, D, D, A, D. I was having too much fun with that chord progression. So there we go. Again, hope you all have fun with this one. I had a blast teaching this song. It's great to have a fun, like, acoustic song with a couple good chords that you can play with friends or at an open mic night. This is a really good one to bring to the table. Such a great song. So again, wishing you so much success in your musical journey, everybody. Keep me posted on how everything is going in your guitar journey. Again, I want to thank my friends at Fishman. I want to thank all of you. Thanks for tuning in week after week. So everybody take care. Have a wonderful weekend. And folks, I